In a small, humble village surrounded by rolling hills and fields that glowed golden in the sunlight, there lived a boy named Liam. He was 12 years old, with hair the color of chestnuts and eyes that seemed to hold both curiosity and quiet wisdom. Life for Liam and his mother was far from easy. His father had died when Liam was just a toddler, leaving them to survive on his mother's meager earnings as a seamstress. Their home was a small wooden cottage on the edge of the village, its roof patched with straw, and its walls thin enough to let the winter winds creep in. Despite their struggles, Liam was known for his willingness to help others. He fetched water for neighbors, chopped firewood, and delivered parcels for the shopkeepers. He wore clothes that had been mended so many times the original fabric was hard to recognize. But he carried himself with quiet pride. One cool autumn morning, Liam was walking toward the market to buy bread for his mother. The sun had just risen, painting the sky in shades of pink and gold. The crisp air carried the earthy scent of fallen leaves. As he walked along the narrow dirt path, something shiny caught his eye. Partially buried under a pile of leaves lay a gold coin. Liam stopped, bent down, and picked it up. It was heavier than he expected, with an intricate engraving of a crown on one side and the profile of a nobleman on the other. He had never seen such a coin up close. It was worth far more than the copper or silver coins he usually handled. His heart began to beat faster. He imagined what the coin could do for him and his mother. It could buy enough food to fill their shelves for weeks. It could pay for warm blankets and a pair of shoes without holes in the soles. For a brief moment, he felt a spark of hope that he hadn't felt in a long time. Then, just a few steps away, he noticed an old man searching the ground. His long white beard swayed as he bent and straightened, his hands brushing away leaves, his eyes scanning the dirt. It was Mr. Howard, a quiet, solitary man who lived near the far end of the village. Liam had seen him before, but had never spoken to him. The old man's movements were urgent, almost desperate. Liam's fingers closed around the coin, and his mind began to race. He didn't need to ask. He knew this coin must belong to Mr. Howard. The thought of keeping it lingered in his mind, a temptation made stronger by the memory of his mother's tired hands and the thin soup they sometimes ate for dinner. But another thought pushed its way in, the simple truth that the coin wasn't his. Liam stood for a moment in silence, listening to the quiet battle in his head. Then he took a deep breath and walked toward the old man. "Sir," Liam said gently, holding out his hand, "are you looking for this?" Mr. Howard froze and looked at him. His pale blue eyes widened as they fell on the coin. "Yes," he said, his voice trembling. "Yes, that's mine. I must have dropped it on my way to the market." He took it carefully from Liam, as if it were fragile. "Do you know what this is worth, boy?" "I do," Liam answered honestly. "And yet you brought it back to me?" The old man's voice was filled with disbelief. "It's yours," Liam said simply. "I couldn't keep it." Mr. Howard studied him for a long moment before a small smile tugged at the corners of his mouth. "Honesty," he murmured, "is worth more than gold." He reached into the satchel slung over his shoulder and pulled out a warm loaf of bread. "Take this," he said, pressing it into Liam's hands. "It's all I can give you for now." Liam hesitated. "Thank you, sir. But you don't have to." "I do," the old man interrupted softly. "Kindness must be repaid, even if only in small ways." Liam accepted the bread with a nod and continued on his way. Life went on, and he soon forgot about the coin. Winter came, cold and relentless, and the little house creaked under the weight of the snow. But Liam and his mother managed, as they always did. Years later, when Liam was a young man, a messenger arrived at his cottage on a rainy afternoon. In his hands was an envelope sealed with red wax. The seal bore the initials H.H., Howard Hall. Inside was a letter written in a careful, trembling script. "My dear Liam, if you are reading this, I am no longer in this world. I never forgot the day you returned my gold coin. That coin was the last payment I had for my craft before I retired, and I had planned to keep it for the rest of my days. But it wasn't the coin itself that mattered. It was the honesty you showed that day. I have no family to leave my belongings to, so I leave them to you. In the small chest in my home, you will find my life savings. Use them to build a future worthy of the boy who returned the coin." When Liam opened the chest, he found enough money to repair his cottage, care for himself, and even start a small trade. As the rain pattered against the windows, he held the letter close and whispered the words Mr. Howard had once told him. Honesty is worth more than gold.